Welcome into another edition of Vikings Update. I'm Mark Potts, Sports Information Director at Valley City State. Our guest this week, Chris Johnson, the head track and field and cross-country coach here at VCSU. We'll talk about the cross-country conference championship meet coming up on Saturday. But first, pairings for the Dakota Bank North Star Bowl have been announced. VCSU will take on Waldorf College at the Fargo Dome. We'll tell you more about that right now. Viking football draws the 12:30 game on Sunday at the Fargo Dome. Will take on Waldorf College as part of the Dakota Bank North Star Bowl. Final game of the season for the Vikings, who are 6-3 overall, winners of 3 in a row. They finished second in the North Star Conference standings at 4-2. Tickets can be purchased in advance from the VCSU Athletic Office for a discount. Radio coverage of the game on Q101.1 FM and video stream through VCSUVikings.com. Viking volleyball closed out the regular season last week, opened with a 3-set loss to Mayville, although all were close games. On Saturday, the Vikings honored their 4 seniors and came away with a thrilling 5-set victory over Clark University on Senior Day. Barb Ector led the attack with 14 kills, and Rachel Hummel had 13 kills. J.C. George recorded 31 digs in the win. Vikings won sets 2 and 3, and then in set 5, they had to hold off one match point before winning 17-15 on the final kill here from Kanani Awai. Vikings closed the regular season with a 9-19 overall record. They begin North Star Athletic Association tournament play Wednesday night, 7 p.m. match at Mayville State. Winner will face the University of Jamestown on November 7th. Viking women's basketball opened conference play Friday night by hosting Viterbo University. Teams were tied twice in the second quarter, but the Vikings never trailed in a 64-48 victory. Sarah Schwanke's buzzer beater here put VCSU up by 10 entering the fourth quarter, and the Vikings continued to pull away down the stretch. Georgia Williams led the Vikings with 19 points, 5 assists, and 5 steals. Freshman Mackenzie Huber had 11 points, 9 rebounds, 4 steals, and Courtney Dixon added 11 points. On Saturday, VCSU dropped a non-conference game, 62-58 against Rocky Mountain College, an NAI Division I school. Courtney Magnuson led the Vikings with 15 points, and both Mackenzie Huber and Georgia Williams had 13. Viking women now 2-1 overall. They're on the road this weekend at the Presentation College Classic in Aberdeen, South Dakota. Game Friday at 2 p.m. against Northwestern, and then Saturday at 11 a.m. a rematch with Viterbo. Viking men's basketball also opened conference play against Viterbo Friday, back and forth first half, but VCSU's Jaden Ferguson took over in the second half, scoring 24 of his 30 points in the second half, including 16 straight points for the Vikings. Vikings put the game away in the final minutes for an 83-75 victory, which was worth 2 points in the conference standings. Ferguson's 30 points led all scorers. Daryl Howell added 14 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists for the Vikings. VCSU shot 51% from the field. Viking men now 2-0 to start the season. A big pair of games coming up for VCSU as they host Northwestern College and Dordt College this weekend. Northwestern receiving votes in the top 25 poll, and Dordt is ranked number 13 in the nation. Those games Friday and Saturday at the Bubble. Also coming up for the Viking men on Monday, November 9th, they're on the road to Milwaukee, Wisconsin for a matchup with the Marquette Golden Eagles. Should be a fun one, exhibition game for the Vikings as they take on the Big East foe, NCAA Division I school Marquette University. And Viking cross country back in action this weekend, closing out the regular season with the NSAA Championships in Madison, South Dakota. Women run at 11 a.m. and men to follow at 11:45 on Saturday. A link to live results can be found at VCSUVikings.com. Joined on this week's edition of Vikings Update by Chris Johnson, head track and field and cross-country coach here at Valley City State. And, Coach, track and field practice is officially underway. But first, we have cross-country to focus on. The big North Star Athletic Association Conference Championship meet coming up Saturday down in Madison, South Dakota. Talking with you off-air a little bit, you feel like your team has really improved throughout the season. Tell us a little bit about that.
I'll tell you one thing, Mark. At the beginning of the season, we didn't think we'd have the potential to get 4 people to nationals, and we have that right now. We have the potential to beat a couple teams at conferences as well. We're going to have a team score on the guys' side for the first time this year, and obviously a solid team score on the women's side as well. And 2 guys on the men's side and 2 girls on the women's side, Alexandra Cardenas and Jenna Coughlin on the women's side, and then Misa Herrera and Malik Jackson on the men's side have really been standouts for us this year, and we think they have the potential to make nationals and get one of those 4 qualifying spots to make it to NAIs in Charlotte.
Yeah, so explain to our viewers, how do runners make the national championship? Top team goes, but then also some individuals as well?
Yeah, it's a top team, so in this case, it's looking like Dickinson State on the men's and women's side. I hate to say, so early, who's going to win the conference, but they've been pretty dominant the entire year on both the men's and women's side. And then it's also the top 4 on the men's side and the women's side, other than the winning team.
Okay.
So hopefully our runners will be a part of that, the top 4 on both the men's and women's side, or we'll have some representatives.
And definitely going to have to run some good races to get in those top 4s. There are some good runners in the North Star. Men's team, first time you'll be able to field a team score this year due to a variety of circumstances. That's got to be exciting for the guys, right?
It is, and we're going to have some nice additions. Jordan Rao, who is he was actually originally a shot putter at Bismarck High, and he lost about 70 pounds. No kidding, 70 pounds. He joined the team this year, was in incredible shape, jumped in right in the middle of the workouts, and started performing right with some of our top guys for some of the workouts, and it was really impressive to see. And I know our assistant coach Wilson was really high on him, coming in and doing that sort of thing. It's pretty impressive. And then Casey Engelhard, Valley City product. He's known more for his jumping, but he was also an excellent cross-country runner for Valley City High, and he's going to be joining our team to help us. Just in case one of our guys go down, we want to make sure we have a team score at the conference meet. So. And
on the women's side, you've had some team scores throughout the year. You have had some illnesses, some injuries lately, but it sounds like you're going to be, for the most part, ready to roll, right?
Yeah, we are. There's some nicks and cut-ups and bruises here and there, and people are banged up. It's a long season. Cross-country, putting a lot of mileage, doing a lot of workouts. But they're ready to roll, and when it comes conference time, everyone forgets about those bruises or strains or whatever, and they're ready to roll and they're pumped and ready to run for their team. And I think that's the most important part. And once they're ready to go, and that's all that matters.
And we'll just touch on this briefly, Chris. You guys have actually started track and field practice already, right?
Yes, we have. Friday is when we started, and I don't think it was the practice that a lot of the athletes envisioned as the first one. It was a hill day, and a lot of them were taking the hill up to Soro, the gas station there. They were running that up and down. About I think each of them had 12 hills of different distances. We have those outlined on the hill for them. And as the season gets rolling, there's another hard workout on Monday. I know the athletes probably want to have an easier practice coming off the weekend on Mondays, but they were really involved and really into it, and I can tell they're buying in, and it's going to be a great season. I'm really excited.
Definitely looking forward to it. And, of course, North Star Athletic Association Cross Country Championship Saturday down in Madison, South Dakota. We'll have all the results up at vcsuvikings.com. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it. Good luck.
All right. Thank you.